Don't change the subject.
I'm not.
You specifically what Newsom has said.
They can pull it up just like I told you about the AT&T.
But what did he say that you think? And again, I'm not a fan of him. I'm a critic. Listen, I think you got to give people, grown adults, the choice. If they just look, we don't have overrun hospitals. We don't have people dying in record numbers. We
don't have 5% death rates. We don't have 1%.
They keep saying the cases and the deaths are increasing. That is true. But as long as there's a disease, they're going to increase. The question is, at what rate? And the people that are dying, how many of them have comorbidity factors?
It's never about the death rate. It's always about increased infection because the death rate's way down. Now,
the death rate is way down.
As soon as the winter hits, they're going to say it's flu, and
Alex,
it's the colds. They're going to count as that.
You get me again. When you say the deaths increase, that is going to happen. The question is, by what rate and how many? Right? Well,
you take the normal flu and pneumonia and morbidity like they did this year, and you add that to the number. They've already run the same scam, and so whatever, they don't count flu as a death or pneumonia anymore. They all count it COVID because they get money on the chart. Right. They get $50,000+ when they call it a COVID death plus when they say that. They get $13,000 to say it's a COVID patient, and they get $29,000 or whatever extra when they intubate somebody. And so now, since when is like Congress saying how to do medicine?
Well, isn't the idea that they're doing this to give money to these hospitals to help them in the middle of a pandemic?
Yeah.
So
but then the hospitals code
this.
Everything as COVID to get the money. That's come out. They killed most people that died in nursing homes or died from intubation when it's an autoimmune event and you don't want intubation. It's intubation that's killing people.
But they initially thought you did.
But that's why
because it was respiratory
and thank
disease.
God the numbers went down because they stopped intubating.
Yes. That's
so
a big
now
factor.
It's all about everyone's being.
But
before there's this high death rate because they were intubating and they were counting and they were killing old people. Right. As soon as they stopped shipping folks to old homes that weren't getting vitamin D because no sun, it went like this. So infections like this, you can pull up the graphs.
Yes.
You're like, what's your science? Pull it up. And infections like this, deaths like this.
Right. Well, you're going up and down, right? Deaths down. Now, what did Gavin Newsom say though? When you said that he said it's not going to get better until Trump's out of office.
Well, it's Whitmer that said that specifically, and he said Cuomo because I remember that too. But he was just basically like, well, I want to be friends with Trump. There's been a bad response. We've got to keep the lockdown going, and until Trump does this wrong, until we have a change, it's going to continue on. And then it's always about the power grab, like, oh, it's 2 years we have to do it. No, it's first it's 15 days to keep the hospitals empty, and then it's 6 months, and now it's 2 years. And then Gates said like a week ago, it's 10 years. And now they've got the people, Fauci and others saying, no, it never ends. You never shake hands. Yeah. And under the UN rules, they say, don't look at someone and turn your head. So in Europe, you can type this in, citizens in the UK told, do not look at other people and turn your head. It's cult programming, man.
I think it's a pretty common talking point, and some people agree with it. Like a lot of Democrats would say, yeah, it's not going to get better until Trump is out because Trump has made a mess of it. I don't think Trump's done the best job.
That's what
clearly,
he said.
But that's a common talking
What could he have
point.
done better?
Well, done better. He shut down flights from China in February when Pelosi's running around in Chinatown saying, dance.
Yeah. But I think it's a pretty common belief that they're saying, listen, so I don't think it's a conspiracy, or I don't think like you have to find a source. I think it's like they believe if he wasn't in, that it won't get better until he's gone. So I don't think they actively are trying to make it better until he's gone.
Exactly.
You see what I mean?
Exactly. They want to keep the crisis going.
I do see what you're saying. I just want to know if there's evidence. I want to know if there's an actual statement where he said, when Trump leaves, then we'll open back up.
That's actually what Whitmer said specifically, but he said similar things. But
let's find where
I'm
Whitmer
going from memory
that.
here. I mean, my God,
I understand, but
Jamie,
that's why I'm challenging you on it.
Jamie's on a ventilator,
but I'm challenging you on this because
Jamie needs a ventilator.
People online are going to want to challenge you on this,
right?
So I want.
Well, that's what they loved about our last interview over a year and a half ago, which they loved was that people could go and actually check the stuff I was saying, no matter how crazy.
And a lot of it is true. So I want to find that quote now. See if Whitmer said that it won't get better until Trump's out of office in terms of the lockdown, restrictions.
Whitmer, lockdown won't end until Trump's out.
And didn't she lose some court case recently?
Yes. Her Supreme Court, but also federal courts have ruled across the country that you can't order churches to wear masks. You can't order social distancing. It's all just getting us to comply.
don't you think it's a good idea to encourage people to wear masks if they're going into large gatherings?
A lot
indoors?
of studies show that doesn't even protect you. Listen. Trump told the truth a few days ago when he came out and he said, "We're never going to control this. We have to learn herd immunity, or if you're really scared of it, take a vaccine." And the head epidemiologist of Rockefeller Hospital came out and said that and got banned on YouTube.
I mean, listen, Italy did social distancing. Italy did masks. Italy did everything you were supposed to do. And they're getting clobbered again. So that makes me think that maybe it's not a bad idea to do these things, but they don't seem to prevent a second wave.
Sweden didn't do any of it, and it's the lowest death rate in Europe.
Right, but it's also a country of small villages. They have a whole different way of life over there.
Well, I mean, Italy is a bunch of 3 generations living in one house.
Yeah, that's the problem.
And they have the oldest people in Europe.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
So yeah, and they need sunlight. They smoke.
They're all
good food.
Try finding a gym over there.
Right, well,
Jesus Christ.
they smoke on the treadmill.
It's so far. Every time I fucking go there, it's hard to find a gym.
Listen, exactly. They
Go
don't
to a restaurant. Enjoy your life.
Joe,
have a restaurant.
Joe, I came out 8 months ago, and I was selling this stuff, but I said get it at the store. Vitamin D, vitamin C,
Zinc.
and zinc. If you have that on the NIH website, it can't, according to the NIH website, cannot replicate inside the mitochondria where the virus plugs into the cell and makes it replicate. Okay. And so like Jones claims he's got a cure. No, it's not a cure. If you've got sunlight and zinc and vitamin C and all these things you need, it's very hard to get these things. That's why it's old people in nursing homes that haven't been outside in years that are dying so easily. Now, Fauci finally 2 months ago came out and said, you need vitamin D, you need vitamin C, and you need zinc.
Well, that is true. And young Jamie takes vitamin D, and he kicked it in a day.
Yes. And vitamin C and zinc.
Young Jamie was feeling bad for a day.
But I don't want to argue, Joe. I want to just say I love Bill Gates.
Okay. I use Windows.
I'm looking for the
Tell me
quote. I can't find
Whitmer's quote.
a specific quote that says that. There's lots of quotes about them going back and forth, obviously, because they've had a public battle.
I just think anybody like that, whether it's Bill Gates or Bezos or anybody who's a billionaire, if they say, here's the suggested course of action, they have to expect that they're going to be criticized. And a lot of these guys don't like taking any criticism when they're issuing edicts. These are billionaires that are saying, this is how we're going to live.
Yeah, that's the next big question.
This amount of
Isn't
vaccinations.
it strange, though, that Bill Gates, who is not a health expert, is all of a sudden one of the leading voices?
Yeah, it's strange.
But that's my next question.
Yeah.
Why is Bill Gates, who's not a doctor, suddenly on TV telling me how my life's going to go and what I'm going to do? This is the most important part.
Why is this a big project for him?
Well, he's also a guy that wanted to shoot a missile of dust into the atmosphere to help climate change. I mean, very few people in history have had the resources to even think of doing something like that.
That's right. He wants to have jets spray chemicals to block the sun.
Right. And the scientists went and
heard of before, Joe?
No good. They went, not a good idea. So, and then if you call him on that, he goes, the lies and the conspiracy theories. It's like, no, we're just asking you why you want to shoot missiles into space.
He went on CBS News and they go, 80% of those taking your vaccine trial are getting very sick. Some are dying. He's like, well, that's just how it is. You can pull these clips up.
What?
Yeah.
He said that's just how it is?
Yeah, he said, well, the FDA is going to approve it.